Hello, my quilting friends. My name is Leah Day, and welcome to this quick video on tension. So Qnique long arms have a tension dial that can be a little tricky to thread, and this is a very common issue, a very common reason why quilters have trouble getting beautiful looking stitches and even tension on Qnique long arms. So no matter whether you have a Qnique 15, 19, or 21, as I do in this video, this is going to help you. So let's get started learning this one trick on tension. Okay, so here we go. I have threaded this top guide, and this up here is going to be kind of wiggly. That's not really a tension dial. You can see that's really just a thread guide. It's guiding you down so that way you can thread this bottom tension dial just exactly right. Now here's the trick. You want to floss the thread through those tension discs. You want to pull it hard. I'm really tugging on that. See, my finger's going kind of white. I'm really tugging on that thread to bring that thread between the tension discs. And look at the setting of the tension on this dial. I have it at like 1.5. It's very low. I don't feel like you need to crank on it and put a whole bunch of tension on this dial. So typically on my Qnique long arms, I start out at 1, I adjust up if I need to, I adjust down if I need to. I kind of wiggle around through this area with like a quarter turn adjustment whenever I need to. But the biggest key here is to pull that thread hard through those tension discs. Then I'm going to thread down, hit these guides, and continue threading just like normal. But this is the thing, if you notice that your thread is kind of pulling out and it's on the edges of this tension dial, what you want to do is occasionally come back and just give that thread a tug. Pull it back like that, and that's going to pull it between those tension discs too. So you can see it's firm enough that I can, I have to kind of tug on the thread in order to get it feed through that, because this tension disc is always pressing. It always has tension. That's why this is a very specific thing to Qnique long arms. We have to really pull the thread to get it fully seated between those tension discs. So that's it for this video. It really is as simple as threading this tension dial properly, really pulling that thread through hard, making sure that it's fully seated between those tension discs. And the reason why this is so confusing is because home machines, when the foot is up, those tension discs spread apart, right? That's a common thing for a home machine. And because Qnique long arms are typically the first long arm that a quilter tries, because they are very modestly priced, they're very affordable, and they're a very good entry-level hobby long arm. And because of that, you're coming from a home machine perspective. You might not realize that these long arms have tension all the time. So no matter whether the foot is down, the foot is up, the needle is up, the needle is down, it does not matter. Those tension discs are always pressing super, super firmly against one another. That means that you have to pull your thread really hard through those tension discs. Make sure that the thread is fully seated between them before you continue threading your long arm. I promise you this one trick is going to ensure that you have beautiful looking stitches. It is not hard to get great tension on a Qnique long arm. I rarely have to adjust my tension dial, maybe just up a little bit, up and down a little bit, maybe a quarter turn, something like that, just depending on the thread that I'm using. I rarely ever have to touch it. But the reason is because I always make sure to thread my tension dial properly. So make sure to be doing this too. I also have 2 other videos on tension if you want to check those out, just so that you can see some other walkthroughs. There might be something else going on with your long arm. I kind of have a full-scale troubleshooting when you're trying to figure out what is this problem, what's going on with your machine. Definitely watch those videos as well. But this was a tip that I learned a few years ago. I didn't include in those videos, so this is something that's really, really important. And it really is a common issue, but it's not hard to fix. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to learn more about Grace Qnique long arms, check them out at leahday.com/grace. Until next time, let's go quilt.